Hi, and a question I'm asked quite a lot is which pieces of gear should I wear? And these queries are coming in thicker and faster, and I think because we've now moved into Tomb of Sargeras, we've got various options. It's not simply a case of are these braces better than these braces just with the stats. It's more a case of, okay, we've now got two sets of tier bonuses. We've got tier 19 from Nighthold, tier 20 from Tomb of Sargeras. What combination of tier bonuses should we be wearing? Putting legendaries into the mix, we've now got more legendaries, which means that it's not just a case of, okay, well, these are my two best legendaries. Maybe we've got multiple ones in different situations that can be better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through how I decide this for my character and to give you some idea. As you can see, I'm going to be suggesting the use of simulation. Now, I'm going to be using Simulation Craft here. I have done videos on this before, and I'll put links in the description below to the useful guides there. Raidbots might be your program of choice. This is a web-based user interface for Simulation Craft. It's actually pretty good for this. In my case, because I'm just going to be simming gear that's in my bags, I personally find it just as quick and easy to use Simulation Craft. If you want to use Raidbots, it's perfectly good for that as well. So first of all, I'm just going to show you my character. As you can see, I've got him stripped for business because what I've done is I've put my tier 19 choice legendaries and tier 20 sets in my bags laid out here. Now, as you can see, I've got access to all of the tier 19 pieces. They're all at least 905 item level. Okay, we've got a 915 there. And then we've got a 905 with a socket. But other than that, they're all 905. I've also got access to all the tier 20. Now, these are mostly 915 as well, which means there's only about 10 item levels difference between them, so the stats could become more important. So I've got 915 helm there, 915, 915, 915, 950, hey, and 915. I don't think any of these have got a socket now, so, you know. So there's not a massive amount between them. Obviously, if you had a really high Titan Forged piece of tier 19, say 925 or something like that, or even higher, if you'd been lucky recently, then it's probably likely you're going to be keeping that throughout Tomb of Sargeras. However, there will come a point in all probability where, although at the moment tier 19 2-piece and tier 24 piece is going to look really good, if you don't get Titan Forged tier 19, the very, very high item level of good stats, non-tier items is going to overtake it at some point. But for a lot of people, we're not at that point there, but I am just going to test that out anyway. So the first thing as I do is I'm not going to use all the different combinations of this gear. It would take forever. I need to be led by a bit of understanding of my class. Now, I know for my particular class and spec that my primary stat of strength is in the mix. It's not way ahead of the secondary stats. For people for whom it is way ahead, then you're very likely to be led largely by item level. In my case, it's not. So in terms of secondary stats, haste is really good for me, generally followed by crit and versatility. Mastery lags behind. So generally, if something's got haste on it, it's probably going to be quite good. If it's got mastery on it, it's probably not going to be that good. If it's got haste and mastery, ooh, conflicted. So I'm going to look through my tier 19 pieces because these are the ones I want to wear 2 pieces of. Now I can see a helm's got crit haste, so I'm very likely to want to wear that. We've got haste versatility. Okay. There's a haste mastery. The mastery is the lower one on it, but you know, it is 915 piece though, so that might bung it up in value there. We've got a crit mastery. No, thank you. Versatility mastery. No, thank you. And crit versatility with a socket. The middle ones, but still doesn't have haste. So at the moment I'm going to go for the one that's got haste. I'm going to suggest the shoulders. And then I'm just going to put on the other corresponding tier 20 pieces. I'm not going to put the legendaries on just yet. I just want to see in terms of tier pieces. Now at this point I've got an add-on called Simulation Craft. And again, I'll direct you to any links to videos that I've done that are going to be useful for this. I'll put in the description below. I'm just going to type /simc because that's the command for it. But remember, the add-on is called Simulation Craft, not SimC. I'm just going to get a copy of that. Then I'm going to paste that into SimCraft. So here I've pasted my profile into SimCraft. At this point, I want to go through some options. So down here, at the moment, you can see I've got fight style, light movement. Now, there's a number of types we could put in here. Patchwork is the standard one that you see when people have done Sims. It's not all that reliable. First of all, it's pure single target. Okay, that's what we're looking at the moment. But it also implies that you stood stock still. That never happens on any Tomb of Sargeras boss on any difficulty. So maybe LFR. So really, you want light movement here. Sometimes even heavy movement, say on Goroth Mythic, something like that. But I'm going to put light movement. Then in the options section, the buffs and debuffs, I've got everything unticked. I would sort of advise you do that. And then don't have anything ticked in scaling or plots because it'll just take longer. All we want is the actual simulation. So we're going to hit simulate and we're going to get a result here. So all we're after is this number 844. It doesn't really matter whether that's good or bad. It's just a comparison. So we've got that number. Now we're going to try something else. So what I said at the time was, you know, this cloak has also got haste. It's got master and it's not ideal, but it's a higher item level. It's 10 item levels above the other pieces that I have. So I'm just going to try out that cloak instead. And that means I'm also, to maintain the foreset, I will get rid of the shoulders because I know the helm is likely to be better than that. So I've still got 2-piece tier 19, 4-piece tier 20, but using one item replaced. And again, and it's just fine tuning here. I get a profile, I'm going to paste it in, and then I'm going to simulate. Now this says 841. The previous one said 844. So the previous one is looking better. So we're just going to put that back on. Then you could try this with other combinations as well if there's anything else you're not really sure about. In my particular case, those were the shoulders and the cloak for the tier 19 were the two pieces that looked like they'd be in sort of second place. So that's what I've sort of stuck for there. If there's more combinations you need to do for yours because it's not as clear cut, then you do those. Just keep fine tuning, change the odd piece here and there until you think you've settled on what's given you the best overall result. Now the next thing I'm going to throw into here are the legendaries. Now in my particular case, there are a few legendaries for single target that are ideal. Now there's 3 here. There is technically a 4th one, but I don't have that one yet, which is the Clash Ring. So I've got another ring here, which is considered quite good. The belt is considered base, and it doesn't occupy a tier slot, which is crucial. So I'm going to put the belt in. So really, it's a case of between this ring and this cloak. Now, generally speaking, for a lot of content, we might consider the cloak to be better, but the cloak, of course, occupies a tier slot. So to wear the cloak, I would have to break a tier set bonus. Either the tier 4 bonus or the 4 set tier 20 bonus, sorry, or the 2 set tier 19 bonus. So what I'm going to do at this point is I've got the belt in, so I need a marker. I'm going to say that if I don't wear the cloak, I'm going to wear this ring. So I'm just going to sim this. Now the result I get now is about 1.13 million. So it's gone way up, of course, because I put my legendaries on. But is it worth dropping a set bonus for the cloak? So let's check. So if I were to wear the cloak, so I've obviously got to unpick that ring out of it. Now, of course, just to make it fair, what I really ought to do as well is to put in what might be my second best ring. Now, what I've just done there is I've just basically removed my tier 19 2 set. Now, at this point, you might also say, well, if I'm going to lose... sorry, the tier 24 set. If I'm going to lose that, then what you might say is, okay, do I have a better piece that I could replace it with? Because if this item, for example, which is Haste Mastery, if I've got a better chest than a 915 Haste Mastery, then I could wear that because it's not giving me any set bonus. So I'm going to do that as well, and I have a Haste Versatility 925. So I'm going to put that on. So this now has 2-piece tier 19, 2-piece tier 20. Is that going to be better? Is it going to be worth wearing that legendary cloak? So you can see straight away, no, it's 1.07-ish, whereas the other one was 1.13. So it's certainly not worth losing that tier 24 set bonus. But would it be worth losing the tier 19 2 set? So what I'm going to do is I've already messed my bags up, never mind. I'm going to put that piece back on. And I'm also going to put those shoulders back on. So now I've got 4-piece tier 20. I've only got 1-piece tier 19 though. So then I might look, do I have a better helm? And in terms of stats, no. Now I've got a 925 here. You might sort of think the extra 20 item levels might be better. but we'll investigate that one later. At the moment, I'm just investigating, is it worth losing that tier 19? And I need to do 2 sims for this. One, as it is at the moment, where I'm wearing that tier 19 helm. 1.1, it's a bit better than losing the tier 24 set at least. But it's still not as good, is it? It's a little bit off. But of course, what about that helm, even though it's got less ideal stats, that was 20 item levels above? Maybe that will swing it. Oh my goodness. I haven't transmogged it, because I haven't actually worn it yet. Shocking, that is. Shocking. Again, you can see it's not actually made that much difference. It's still on about 1.11. It's still a little bit off. Not miles off. Not so much that you'd worry about it, by the way, but it is still off. So it's not looking ideal there. So what we're looking at is a situation where it's not really worth using that cloak. So we're going to get rid of it. So we've got our tier 19, 2-piece, tier 20, 4-piece. And in my case, it's pretty obvious which legendaries to wear at this point, because there are sort of a choice of 3. Again, it might be for your class and spec. There are multiple legendaries and you want to be changing those around as well, trying different combinations. So as you can see here, we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 profiles. So I've done 6 different profiles that have allowed me to say, okay, this is what's best for my single target DPS. It's based upon the fact that I sort of knew roughly where my stats should be. I also knew which were my best legendaries, and it allowed me to save quite a lot of time. In your case, it might be, as I say, it might be a bit more complicated. You may need to do more profiles, but this is the sort of process you want to be going through. Just fine-tune it. Don't create one profile and then a completely different one to compare them. Just create a profile and then change an item here or there, an item here or there, and keep fine-tuning, fine-tuning, fine-tuning until you get the best overall balance. So there you are. I hope that was useful. If it was, don't forget to subscribe for further content. If you've got any suggestions for other guides you'd like me to do, then throw those in the comments below as well. And until next time, I'll see you later.